I'm sure you've heard that saying that stupidity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. We conservatives have been being real stupid for the last, I don't know how many years. We need to switch up how we do things because they're coming for us. And it is not going to be pretty. We need to change up what we're doing or else we're going to be caught in the crossfire. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Quam Teasy with the Christocrats and the Red Pill Reality, here with another video to enlighten you, to uplift you, to encourage you, to get you fired up for your calling to be a Christocrat in a society, in an American society where you are desperately needed, where your voice is desperately needed, especially if you are a person of color, a black person. Voice right now, it is our time to begin to raise up and let our voices be heard for the side of righteousness and the side of conservatism. Yeah, I'm putting those two things together. I am conflating those two things together. Notice I didn't say Republican and righteousness. I said conservatism and righteousness. The two go together like macaroni and cheese, like hand in glove, like anything that goes together. They go together. What's crazy is we have been trying to get our message out for years and years and years, conservatives that is, and doing it the wrong way. What we've been doing is trying to speak facts and figures. And facts are right. Facts are perfect. If you know me and know anything, facts are your basis for everything. But we've been operating from the wrong premise. The premise that we operate from is that we just assume that everybody wants to know what the truth is, and everybody is pure down and deep inside. They think like we do, and they want to make sure that everything is right and fair, and what's best for the country, and all of that. And your enemy, the liberal left, the radical liberal left, that's not how they think. That's not what they operate under. What they operate from is the premise that you are evil, that you are wrong, and that you hate anything good, equality, whatever. And then they operate from there. They don't talk about or ever bring up any solutions that actually will work. They've devolved into a party and a people that can only point out what they see as evil, you being evil and wrong. And they don't even want to hear your arguments. They don't even want to hear what you have to say. It's gotten so bad that you have a congresswoman, Maxine Crazy Woman Waters, I call her Maxine Crazy Eyes Water, Mad Max, that's what I'm going to call it, Mad Max, calling for, insinuating that Trump supporters should be treated or met confrontationally, which will devolve into violence whenever they're out. You know, from going from college campuses where college professors would talk talk down and talk bad in front of everybody and denigrate anybody conservative, and they would mess up your grades if you spoke out being conservative. Then that devolved into conservatives coming to college campuses and getting shouted down, and violence beginning to happen. And then you had the rise of Antifa. And now, those are still some fringe things in fringe areas, but now you have people, restaurant owners, kicking people out of their establishment because of who they work for, their political views. And then they try to conflate that and put that together with, well, the Christian baker didn't want to bake a cake for a gay couple. It's not the same thing. If you try to explain that, then that's getting into facts and figures and what is right and what is true. And that doesn't work on the radical, crazy left liberals. That doesn't work on them, and then it's going to become mainstream to attack us, to come out and say and do things that they would not, because they've lost it. They've become unhinged. And the reason why is because Donald Trump was not supposed to win. He was not supposed to win. If you want to have a good laugh, go look at the compilation of the Young Turks election night and how they just lost their nugget when went from being super arrogant to losing their nugget because he was not supposed to win. And not only was he not supposed to win, he was not supposed to be as successful as he has been in just the first year and some days. Crazy how successful he's been. Like, I don't know how this man keeps up his pace. Now, obviously, we are not worshiping Donald Trump. We know he has flaws and he's a flawed human being, but he is doing a great job. Everywhere I go, I see help wanted signs. There's jobs out there. People are starting to, begin to move ahead. I know I am, little bit by little bit. So what I want to say is that we as conservatives need to stop worrying about converting those who we already know are crazy liberals who are not going to listen. Right? So how can you tell who they are? Well, they may have blue hair. They may be soy boys. They may be the guys that wear like the super tight skinny jeans and the shirt that goes down to here like this. The girls that look like they will rip your head off. They never have any fun. If you look at pictures of all these liberals, they're always angry looking. You look up all the Democrats like Mad Max and Crazy Pelosi. And Chucky Shoo Shoo. Look at all of them. They're always got mad faces on it. They're always got faces like they're never happy because they don't have anything that they're positively going for. They're always being negative and pulling down. And I see them as like these little imp monsters with nails, dirty long nails, just scratching at anything that anybody tries to make as a positive. Solution for things. They never have solutions. And so, but do not be fooled. They are after us and the gloves are off. So if they're going to be calling for people out in general who, like, if you wear a Make America Great Again hat, then you're a target. And it's going to become more mainstream. And so you need to, number one, know what you're talking about. Number two, expect confrontation. Number three, be pleasant and professional in your presentation. Don't let them drag you into their mess. And number four, which is very important, do not try to convert those who you know are already way to the other side or just want to fight and argue and don't want to hear anything you got to say. Unless the only time you should do this is when there are other people around who are watching, listening, reading posts that may be on the fence, may not be on the fence. That's the only reason why I ever get into a debate with a liberal, or if it's a family member or something like that. But if there's other people that are on the fence, then it is our job to speak the truth so that they will be converted. Now, Jesus is our example. He didn't seek out battles with the Pharisees because he knew that they were already on that side. But if it came to him, he would talk to him and he would chop it up and really own them because of everybody else all around that was watching and listening that were on the fence. And so you got to know what you're talking about. You got to something that Charlie Kirk said. You need to rehearse your answers. Rehearse your answers to yourself. You might feel stupid, but do your research on these things. And when you'll what's kind of a funny thing is like whenever a new subject will come up, and my emotions will be pricked about it. And I start to kind of lean towards what maybe some of the left people, because, you want to be open. You don't want to be part of an echo chamber like they are. You don't want to be always preaching to the choir. You want to be open, right? So my heart starts to get pricked a little bit. This whole immigration thing, my heart was a little bit pricked. But then I looked up the truth. I looked up the facts from different sources, many different sources, and found out that they once again were lying. That they once again were blowing things out of proportion just so it can be a political football that they can use to try to influence the masses that are too dumb to go and look or too busy to go and find out the truth. With the Time magazine cover that you just saw, the coverage of what, how they take President Trump's words out of context, how they portray Sarah Huckabee Sanders, how the press corps goes after her, and they never went after Obama that way. It's crazy. So you can't think that you're going to try to convert the liberals or just get in these arguments with them over and over and over again when they're not even going to try to listen to you. But you need to be able to know what you're doing and have that ability to defend and know that you are on the side of right. You're on the side of righteousness, because at the end of the day, and at the beginning of the day, the reason why conservatism is right, because it is based on the biblical fact that every man, every woman is created in God's image and therefore has inalienable rights that cannot be changed, that does not come from the government. That is the essential difference between us and them. They're godless. Most of them, a lot of them are godless, and they believe that rights come from the government. Therefore, the government has the ability to tell you who has the rights and who doesn't have the rights. They're the ones that's why they want government to be bigger. That's why they want government programs to be bigger and larger. But I'm telling you, the point that I'm trying to make is that be prepared for the fight. It is here. It's at your front doorstep. But be of good courage. Make sure that your spiritual foundation with God is right. Make sure that your motivation is correct. That you are wanting to have people come to the light and the truth, whether politically, spiritually, either way, you want them to come to the light because you have the truth. But you need to do it in love. Don't let them provoke you, but be ready to pull that sword out when you need to, for the sake of those around that may not know any better. Because again, like I said, the fight is here. If we are bold about our choices politically and socially, and we're socially conservative as well, which is very, very, very important. And they are encouraging people to attack us. They're, you see it on every TV show, every commercial, every award show. Not that we care about that. There's an attack on us. When Chris Pratt just said his few little things about God, Twitter went crazy on him. So be ready for that. Just know that they're going to come at us, and be ready. Be ready for it. Study up. Know that you are on the side of right, and do not be intimidated by them. Don't be intimidated by them, because they're trying to push for a social civil war. That's what they're trying to push for. We can't keep doing things the same way and trying to convert those guys online or whatever and think that they're going to listen. They're not. So I would encourage you, find out what's going on. I'm going to be doing a series of videos on all the hot button topics and political hot button topics that affect us as believers, as Christians. Again, I'm part of the Christocrats, and I want you to be part of that too. Because ultimately, what makes this country great and what we need to go back to is our biblical principles that govern how we live. I'm not saying that you have to be a Christian to benefit from these things. You don't have to be. But you will benefit. The reason why this country is successful, there's no bones about it, is because we were based on Christian principles. That's not to say that the forefathers, all of them were Christians or even lived as Christians. They had slaves, blah, 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 whatever. But we're talking about generally the Christian principles that we had in this country drove us. And that's what we need to get back to. Christocrats. We're not left, we're not right, but we're up. See you in the next video.